Serbisyong care yan, tatak care yan.
Digdi sa serbisyong kariyan ay ngunyan Aldo ng Merkules kasama tayo magandang pag-usapan ito. Isang abogado ang kasama natin ngayon, founder ng IFCB Law Office simula ng 2018. Ito'y ang kanilang tawag dito, nakafocus sila ngayon sa three main practices areas, sa civil law, corporate law, and employment labor law. At marami pa tayong matututunan mamaya sa kanya. Ngayong umaga kasama natin dito sa Serbisyong Kerian si Attorney Francesco Britannico. Attorney, good morning.
Hello, good morning po. Thank you for having us.
Opo, good morning. Oy, napakabata pa ni Attorney, ha?
Hindi po ganun kabata, sir. Hindi pa po.
Baby face lang,
Baby face lang.
Aha.
Well, hindi naman po sana.
Attorney, maraming salamat sa iyong panahon. Marami kaming katanungan mamaya. Batiin niyo ho muna, Attorney, lahat ng mga listeners natin sa Bicolandia, sa buong Pilipinas, wag sa buong mundo.
Hello, good morning, good evening, kung anong oras mo sa inyo ngayon. And sana po ay maganda ang araw ninyo.
Oho. Attorney, if you don't mind, taga saan ho kayo? Saan po kayong city or probinsya dito sa Pilipinas?
Sa ngayon po, nasa Makati ako. My family is from Iloilo and Cavite. Ayun po yung aming background.
Pero sa Manila na ho kayo lumaki?
Yes, sir. Although, I spent a lot of time din po sa parehong probinsya.
Okay. So, diretso na ho tayo sa ating concern na pag-uusapan ngayon, ang International Child Abduction.
Yes, sir. International Parental Child Abduction po ito. Ito po ay sitwasyon kung saan may isang magulang, walang pahintulot ng kabilang magulang, ay dinala or retain sa isang bansa, yung unang walang pahintulot, yung anak nila.
Walang pahintulot yung anak nila o walang pahintulot yung magulang?
Walang pahintulot ng isang magulang po. Kunyari, sitwasyon sa Pilipinas, kung nangyari ito dito, for example, ay kung nagbabakasyon sana galing sa ibang bansa, tapos yung isang magulang ay based sa Pilipinas, tapos nag-refuse na siyang ibalik dun sa kinalakihan na bansa ng bata. Or kung talagang kinuha na lang galing sa kabilang bansa tapos dinala sa Pilipinas, yun po ay tinatawag natin sa International Parental Child Abduction.
Sa international law or sa maging sa Pilipinas, ito po ba ay matuturing na krimen or crime?
Well, actually, sa Pilipinas po, wala tayong strictly speaking na parental kidnapping dahil may typically ang karapatan ng magulang ay nasa kanila yung bata, kaya sa ating revised penal code walang strictly speaking parental kidnapping. In fact, our kidnapping law explicitly excludes parents from kidnapping.
Oo.
Pero merong criminal aspects, yung pwede siyang ituring violence against women and children for withholding the custody or withholding yung karapatan ng magulang, lalo na kung nanay. Pero strictly speaking po, yung mga nakikita natin na detention or kidnapping cases, hindi po siya covered. Itong parental abduction na pinag-uusapan natin ay isang civil na kaso. Dahil siya po ay hindi criminal na aspect, hindi po siya kakasuhan ng preso. Pero rin-resolve niya kung saan dapat babalik or pupunta yung bata.
Sir, saan na-file ang iaampong international abduction sa bata? Dito ba sa Pilipinas kung sakali nandito yung bata or sa ibang bansa din?
Kung saan sila galing?
Well, ayon po doon sa rules na ginawa ng ating Supreme Court, ang kaso ay fina-file kung saan makikita yung bata or saan makikita yung magulang na kumuha ng bata. So, may coordination pong gagawin ito para malaman kung minsan kung saan yun. Sa ating sistema, magko-coordinate po tayo sa DOJ, sa Bureau of Immigration, pero ultimately ang kaso fina-file po sa family court ng probinsya or city kung saan ang bata ay matatagpuan.
I heard you kanina, attorney, sa Pilipinas, wala tayong parental abduction. Ano namang kasong ikakaso sa kanya kung wala tayong parental abduction?
Mhm.
Yes, sir. Kasi, well, itong sa parental abduction na situation, ang Pilipinas, kasama ng maraming ibang bansa, ay signatory ng isang treaty, yung tinatawag na Hague Abduction Treaty.
Mm-mm.
Siya ay nagbibigay ng rules kung saan dapat ang bata ibabalik or mananatili kung nangyari yung sitwasyon na ito. Ang ginawa po ng sa ating Supreme Court nung pumirma yung bansa natin sa treaty na ito, gumawa siya ng mga patakaran ng rules kung paano i-implement yung treaty. Yung ifa-file na kaso is a case under the rule made by the Supreme Court for international parental abduction. I-file it with the family court, and then yung family court po tatanggapin niya yung ebidensya, tapos magde-decide siya na mabilis kung dapat ba ang bata ay manatili sa Pilipinas or ibalik doon sa country kung saan siya nanggaling or saan po siya lumaki.
O sa Makatwid, may kaso pa din.
May kaso po, court case siya, pero medyo kakaiba po siya compared sa ibang mga kaso dahil ito po ay naka-fast track sa ating rule na binigay sa atin ng Supreme Court. Hindi katulad ng mga ibang kaso na it will take perhaps buwan or taon para ma-resolve yung child custody. Sa ating Supreme Court, from the time of filing the case until there's a ruling, nasa rules po 90 days lang po. Dapat may decision
Wow.
po.
Di mas maganda nga, attorney po, kasi naka-fast track.
Yes, sir. Naka-fast track po siya.
Oo.
Ang importante dito ay ma-prepare yung kaso before you file. Kasi dahil nga naka-fast track siya, very strict ang rules ng ating Supreme Court na binigay sa mga family court kung paano patakbuhin yung kaso. Among them is, pag magsasabit po kayo, dapat isang beses lang kayo magsasabit. Hindi nyo pwedeng dagdagan ang iyong ebidensya. So kung kulang ebidensya nyo, madidismiss yung kaso. Wala na kayong pagkakataon ulitin ito.
Maganda naman, attorney, na naka-fast track ito. Pero bakit kaya naka-fast track ito at ang ibang kaso hindi pwedeng fast track?
Kasi po, ito ay hindi siya custody case.
Okay.
This is a case about whether or not the treaty was violated.
Okay.
Whether or not the child was a habitual resident of another country, was taken to this country or kept in this country without the consent of the other parent. And if the child has only been here for a short period of time. So if you file the case with those conditions, the family court will make a ruling to decide whether or not the child should be returned to the home country.
All right.
Mas mabilis po yung kaso dito, sir, dahil hindi siya nagde-decide kung sino ba dapat ang
We understand.
parent na may custody. Sinasabi nila po niya is that sa aling bansa ba dapat mangyayari yung custody dispute, sa Pilipinas or sa ibang bansa? Kung sa ibang bansa, ibalik na agad sa kabilang bansa.
All right. So yun ang pagdidesisyonan.
Yes, sir.
Sir, linawin po natin, attorney, kasi marami ang hindi masyadong familiar dito sa The Hague Convention. Ano po itong The Hague Convention all about?
The Hague Convention, sir, it's a international treaty where there are very many member countries already. And ang kanyang point is to give a speedy way for a child who was taken or kept in one member country without the consent of the other parent, for that child to be speedily returned to the country of habitual residence. Yung treaty po na ito, ang Pilipinas ay sumali dito noong 2016. Tapos, ang ibig sabihin nun, yung mga bansa na miyembro na ng treaty na ito before tayo sumali, they have to approve the application of the treaty between their country and ours. So in the time that since then, there have been almost 50 countries na this treaty is enforced with the Philippines. So kung may kinuha po ang isang magulang na bata galing sa one of those countries as dinala sa Pilipinas, pwede po siyang mabilis, within 90 days, ipapabalik po sa home country.
Mhm.
Okay, so mas mabilis talaga no pag medyo ang kaso ay parental abduction under the Hague Convention.
Pero kung doon lang po sa mga treaty, paano po kung ang isang bansa hindi po signatory ng convention?
Oy, tika sa oo.
Kung hindi po siya signatory ng convention, for example, may if the treaty is not enforced between the Philippines and that other country, for example, hindi siya signatory, let's say kung si China, for example, or kung even though signatory siya, hindi pa niya ina-approve yung effect ng treaty between the Philippines and it, like the United States. At saka tayo, ang magiging result nun, sir, is when you file a case sa Philippines, you have to file a custody case. Hindi po siya yung 90-day speed run. Ang mangyayari po ay you have to file for custody, you have to file for visitation, you have to file for yung tinatawag natin habeas corpus na idalhin yung bata sa korte. Pero ibig sabihin, yung question po will not be sa anong bansa ba dapat i-decide yung custody. It will become the custody case itself. So mas mahaba.
Medyo
mas
matagal-tagal ang custody case.
Yes, sir. And of course, it becomes difficult if in the situation of a parent who is not based in the Philippines, dahil nga ganun sila doon nga lumaki, for example, kasi alam niyo naman po, marami tayong OFW families, marami tayong mga international families na doon na po lumaki sa ibang bansa yung mga bata nila. So if yung isang magulang ay based doon sa, let's say sa US, if he's forced to file or she is forced to file a custody case in the Philippines, it becomes more difficult dahil paano kayo mag-a-appear na mabilis dahil baka-abutin ng buwan or taon yung proseso.
Tama. So, mas mabilis na lang kung gamitin itong The Hague Convention. Oo.
Yes, sir. And the thing about this is that hindi siya ganun hindi pa tayo ganun ka-knowledgeable yung taong bayan na meron palang ganito.
Oo nga eh.
So, even though we have millions and millions of Filipinos overseas, and then families like that, they're not aware na there's this remedy na kung nangyari yung sitwasyon na ito, magkahiwalayan yung magulang, dinala yung bata sa Pilipinas or retain yung bata galing sa kung saan na lumaki dati, dapat may prosesong ganito that will make it easier rather than the usual custody case na naririnig natin.
Paano halimbawa, sir? Halimbawa, Pilipina ang ang nanay, Amerikano ang tatay. For example, dinala sa Pilipinas ang anak niya without the consent of the American father. Applicable ba ito? Nanay naman siya at taga-Pilipinas naman siya?
Well, in that specific case, sir, dahil nga even though the Philippines and the US are both treaty members, the US actually has not yet approved the enforcement of the treaty between the Philippines and the US. So, hindi pa po siya magagamit sa ngayon between the US and the Philippines. But in going back to a situation like that, let's say for example Spain and the Philippines, the treaty is enforced already. Kung merong magulang na Spanish citizen, tapos yung nanay ay Filipino citizen, kung dinala ng mother yung bata sa Pilipinas and then ayaw niyang ibalik despite there's may karapatan din yung father, pwede pa rin mag-apply yung treaty na ito. In fact, we've had a case very similar to that where something like that was resolved because sir, again, this is not about a custody case. Even though Filipino yung mother, even though usually kapag maliit pa yung bata, nasa family code natin na meron tayong tender years presumption na if a child is up to 7 years old, the mother has the default custody. But because the treaty was signed by the Philippines after the family code already was in effect, meaning it's the later law from the perspective of Philippine law, and also because the treaty provides for what is the best interest of the child, which is that ibig sabihin sa ilalim ng ating sariling batas ngayon, because we incorporated this treaty into our local law, the best interest of the child is that ibalik siya dun sa home country and then to resolve it there. Even though the mother is Filipino, even if the father is a non-Filipino, that in itself will not suffice to bar yung application ng treaty na ito. So, actually, even sa sitwasyon po na ganun, the court can and will still order that the child should return if the child was a habitual resident of the foreign country already.
Paano mo masasabing yun ang home country niya dahil doon siya naka-register?
Usually po, sir, if the child has been living in that place, habitual resident siya for at least 6 months, the last 6 months, and the case, basically, the normal situation is there's a family that's based in another country. The child might have been born there. The child happens to be a Filipino because Filipino po yung mga magulang niya,
Yes,
or isa
opo.
sa mga magulang niya. And then, so baka po lumaki na doon yung bata, 5 years, 10 years, and then one parent decides to bring the child here and keep the child here. It can be clearly established that habitual resident siya.
Okay.
Ang ano lang po, ang one of the limitations or constraints here is habitual resident, meaning kung naging habitual resident na ng Pilipinas yung bata, di hindi na po pwede i-file yung kaso dito. Yung ating marker is 1 year. If the child has been in the Philippines already for 1 year after the retention or taking, tapos you file the case after more than 1 year, hindi na po
Hindi na
Oh.
pwede. Okay.
Kaya pala minamadali or nasa fast track.
Oo.
Yes, sir. That's it. Kasi po, ang philosophy po ng batas, ng treaty, ng rule, ay what is in the best interest of the child. And the best interest of the child daw is continuity, na hindi siya magagambala na from change in circumstances, na kung saan siya habitual resident, dapat doon siya manatili.
Okay. Paano sir kung yung isang bata ay kinuha talaga dahil nga sinasaktan ng isang parties?
Ayun po that is a definite consideration.
Oo.
Kung ang bata would be in danger of physical or psychological harm in the other country, that is an exception to the situation. So the court
Ayun.
here can say, all right, the child might be a habitual resident, pero kung may danger sa kanya na ibalik siya, physical or
Okay.
psychological, and then the court can refuse the return.
Alright. Maliwanag ho yun. Maliwanag yun. Attorney, hanggang ilang taon to applicable sa bata?
Hanggang age 16 po.
Okay. So, pag nag-18 na siya, 17, 18, able to decide for himself, hindi na applicable yung batas na ito.
Yes, sir. In fact, kung nag-file ka, for example, when the child was 15, almost 16, tapos umabot ng 16 yung within the 90-day period, i-dismiss na lang po yung kaso.
Okay. Pag naabutan ng
Opo.
tamang edad na gano'n.
And then also, of course, because the child is a little older, mga 14, 15 years old already, the court can actually ask the child, ano ba ang pananaw mo? Kasi iba yun sa sitwasyon where the child is like 5 years old, 6 years old, mas may bigat po, mas may timbang yung opinion ng bata pag mas nakakatanda na ng konti.
Okay. Alright. So, balikan ho natin. Halimbawa, nasa edad pa yung bata, maliit pa siya, at the parent refused to follow, nakipagtigasan. Ano ba ang posibleng mangyari sa kanya? Makukulong siya? May penalty siya? Attorney, ano ba ang posibleng mangyari?
Well, for example po, ay nagkaroon ng kaso, tapos yung ating family court ay nag-issue na ng order na dapat ibalik yung bata. And the parent refuses.
Yes.
Well, for one, the authority that's supposed to coordinate on the implementation of the law, dito ang ating DOJ. So yung Department of Justice natin will get involved, the Bureau of Immigration can get involved, the DSWD also, so that the court can actually order that the child should be received by these government offices to arrange with the other government, the foreign country where the child is ordered to be returned to. They can coordinate po. The DOJ itself will coordinate with its counterpart in Europe, for example. Tapos ibabalik po yung bata. And then with the respect to yung refusal ng mother, the normal po na penalties for failing to obey a court, the court itself can order that the refusing parent be held in contempt. The court has discretion kung anong penalties po ibibigay niya.
The local court.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Including imprisonment if necessary, to the extent needed to enforce the order.
Okay, okay. So, walang kinalaman yung other country. Hindi sila mag-impose ng anumang penalty doon or punishment doon sa magulang na nag-refuse.
Well, yung kanya-kanyang bansa po have their own systems. So, if the foreign country has a law against international parental kidnapping that's criminal, they can impose that in their home country, but they have no power to enforce that here in the Philippines. They have to coordinate with our authorities. They have to coordinate. Hindi po nila kayang magpadala ng tao dito para kunin yung bata. They have to ask basically for the help of our DOJ, DSWD, at yung Bureau of Immigration po natin through the court.
Attorney, paano po kung yung bata ang siyang nag-ayaw na magbalik?
Depende po sa edad ng bata at saka yung kanyang at kung anong mapapatunayan sa korte. Kung yung bata ay ayaw niya bumalik dahil may psychological or physical harm, the court will examine this. That's why may trial pa rin po tayo in the sense na there's the 90-day period where these questions can be answered.
Okay.
But actually, speaking to that, sir, it's like I said, 90 days po yung entire process. Meaning, yung magpa-file na parent ay magpa-file siya ng kaso, tapos yung court that receives it will send a notice to the other parent na kailangan sagutin niya within 5 days yung petition. Hindi po katulad sa ating normal cases na 15 days to file an answer. 5 days po. If you don't file an answer within 5 days, the court can say na, oh, you've waived already. Wala ka ng karapatang sumagot.
Isa sa mga consideration ng custody is ang best interest ng bata. Paano natin
Yes,
to ma-define yung best interest? Kung financial ba ito ng magulang?
Yung best interest po in this respect, for custody cases, it would include financial, physical, and emotional things like how young the child is and all of those, and the normal things that we consider in a custody case in the Philippines. But since parental abduction is not a custody case, it's
Yes.
actually just where it answers the question of where should the custody case take place. Should it take place in the Philippines or should it take place somewhere else? So if the treaty conditions are met, the child was taken or unlawfully or detained in the Philippines, retained in the Philippines. If the child has been here for less than 1 year, and if the child is actually a habitual resident in the other country, ang order ng court will simply be to say the child must return to that other country where the custody issue can be resolved.
Regardless of the financial status ng magulang. For example, mas mayaman yung Filipina kaysa doon sa father niya. Regardless of that, ibabalik siya doon kasi habitual resident siya doon.
Yes, sir. If the treaty is enforced between the
Okay.
Philippines and that country, if the conditions are met, then ibabalik po dapat doon. And then the let's say the Filipino father or the Filipino mother here in the Philippines will be obliged to raise that defense doon po sa kabilang bansa.
Doon na niya ilalaban yon.
Yes, sir.
So, actually, pagbalik doon, pwedeng ituloy yung kaso. May kaso pa rin doon kung ilalaban niya.
May kaso po talaga typically, yes, sir. Actually, the court here tries to get the parents to come to an agreement.
Alright.
Tries to get them to figure out how to resolve this amicably. So it might be na wala ng kaso doon. Simply they'll simply agree, for example, na bumalik sila or gagawa sila ng different living arrangement doon sa kabilang bansa. So there's some leeway naman po for the human element dito.
Sir, paano malalaman kung yung nag-apply ng files ay talagang siya ang parents? So, ano po bang mga need na requirements para mapatunayan na siya po talaga ay legal parents? So, baka ang tawag dyan ay stranger kidnapping lang po. I mean,
Yes, sir. Well, when you file the case in the first place, yung simula po nag-file ng kaso, ang requirement ng rule is that lahat ng ebidensya mo, isasabit mo na sa korte ng sabay-sabay.
Okay.
Invitation mo for this, nandun na rin lahat ng ebidensya, yung birth certificate ng bata, yung proof na yung bata ay lumaki doon sa kabilang bansa, maybe yung medical records niya, yung school records niya, perhaps yung marriage contract, yung marriage certificate ng mga magulang, yung mga litrato, and then yung mga affidavit ng petitioner, affidavit ng kanyang witnesses. Lahat po ito ay dapat isubmit na sa simula pa lang. So pag makikita po yung ebidensya, nandun na sila. Including also, typically yung batas ng kabilang bansa na nagpapakita na may karapatan itong magulang na ito doon sa custody also.
Okay, so ano na yan, requirements yun. Na dapat may paalam na, may patunayan niya na magulang siya
Oo,
doon.
kasi baka gusto lang kunin yung
Yes.
bata. Oo.
Alam mo,
And then also,
yes please.
sorry sir, because of course, may pagkakataon din po kasi yung kabilang magulang sumagot. So ipa-file niya ito sa korte, papadala ng notice yung kabilang panig na sabihin, okay, this parent is filed this petition, ano po ang sagot ninyo? Yun yung, may pagkakataon po yung kabila to say whether or not they contest the allegations of the other side.
Okay, napakaliwanag. Alam mo, attorney, bago ito sa aming pandinig itong law na ito. Maraming
Saka, attorney,
salamat.
halimbawa po na nanalo yung nagpetisyon. Pwede bang makonsider din yung isang side na mag-motion for reconsideration?
Oo nga. Meron ba itong motion for reconsideration?
Actually, sir, wala na po at wala na rin po siyang appeal.
Oh.
ganun po siya.
Non-available pa ito.
Wala na pong appeal ito. Hindi na po siya pwedeng iakyat galing sa family court para iakyat sa Court of Appeals or sa Supreme Court. Merong difficult ways to ask the Court of Appeals to reverse the ruling. Pero yung normal kinds of appeal natin, na kung may normal, kunyari may breach of contract case ka, mag-file ka na lang ng appeal, or even a criminal case, wala pong ganun dito. The standards for asking for a reversal are very high. So, walang normal appeal dito. So, in the meantime also, if the trial court issues an order, sir, immediately enforceable siya.
Oho.
So even if mag-appeal ka pa, or yung tinatawag natin na petition for certiorari, na difficult po yung grounds for getting that granted by the Court of Appeals, even if you try that, in the meantime, the trial court decision can already be enforced. So baka nakauwi na po yung bata. By the time it's addressed.
Huling tanong, attorney. Halimbawa, nabalik na sa, for example, Spain, kasi yun ang may treaty, yung Spain. Pagdating doon, ayaw na talaga magsama ng dalawa, ng husband and wife. They really have decided to separate. Pagdating ba doon, sino ang hahawak? Kanino custody yun?
Well, speaking to that, sir, again, that is a question that can be resolved in Spain itself.
Okay.
It's a question it's also best resolved by the parents themselves. It's a situation na ganun. What we've seen is that they do agree na, in fact, babalik yung entire family doon, and then the parents live separately, and then nag-alternate na lang po sila ng custody ng bata doon sa kabilang bansa. So nagkakaroon naman po ng way to move forward, even though hindi na sila nagsasama, they can still both be parents to the children, and the children can benefit from having both of them in their lives.
But they can file a case as to who will be for the custody.
They can, sir. The courts, in a way, they behave very similarly to here as well. I'm sure the courts there will also see kung can they work out a custody sharing agreement. Kasi, again, hindi naman po ito unfeeling na situation, or any country will recognize, I think, that as long as there's no psychological or physical harm, it's a good thing for both parents to be in the lives of the children.
Okay, maraming salamat, attorney. Dito po sa binasa ko yung ninyo kanina, ang FCB Law Office ay nagpa-practice din kayo naka-focus din kayo sa 3 main practices like civil law, corporate law, and employment law. Sa sunod po, attorney, pwede po tayong mag-discuss ng ibang mga kung okay sa inyo na maging guest
Yes,
kayo
sir.
namin ulit.
Yes po, Sir Rico and Sir Ronnie. That would be wonderful. We'd be happy to do that, sir.
Yeah, at magpapadala na lang kami ng tawag dito request kung ano ang mga pwede natin pag-usapan na makakatulong sa mga kababayan natin, hindi lang sa Bicolandia kundi sa buong Pilipinas. Maraming salamat, attorney.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong ulit.
Yan po si Attorney Francesco Britannico. Pambira
Bagong-bago yun sa atin.
Oo, ngayon ko lang narinig.
Yung
Ngayon
International
pa lang.
Abduction.
The Hague Convention.
The Hague Convention.
What The Hague? Ang alam lang kasi natin na The Hague. ICC.
Dapat pala natin,
Meron pa palang International Child Abduction Law. Doon din sa The Hague. Ibang klase itong The Hague. Maraming salamat si Attorney Francesco Britannico. Mga apelyido talaga Britannico, talagang alam mong matatalino
founded ang Fifth Civil Law Office.
Sir, maraming salamat, Attorney, at sana'y makasama kayo namin ulit sa mga susunod nating discussion dito sa Servisyong Keryan.